The following is a list of 3 of the most notorious haunted locations in Northampton, Massachusetts. Number 1. Bridge Street Cemetery. The Bridge Street Cemetery in Northampton, Massachusetts, was established in 1663 and is said to be haunted by the spirits of dozens of men and women whose corpses were exhumed from a number of smaller cemeteries in the surrounding area and reburied at Bridge Street. One popular folklore tale claims that the Bridge Street Cemetery is haunted by the spirit of a man named David Brainerd, who died of tuberculosis in October of 1747, and his young lover, Jerusha. According to legend, David Brainerd was a devout Catholic man who fell in love with a young woman named Jerusha Edwards. Before they were able to get married, David became ill with tuberculosis and passed away. He was buried at Bridge Street Cemetery next to Jerusha Edwards, who died of a fever unexpectedly in February of the following year. Ever since, Northampton locals have reported witnessing their pale apparitions in the cemetery at night, as well as experiencing other unexplained paranormal phenomena, such as unexplained cold spots and feelings of nausea and dizziness that subside upon leaving the location. Number 2. Northampton State Hospital. The Northampton State Hospital in Northampton, Massachusetts, was constructed in 1856 to treat men and women suffering from a variety of mental illnesses. It was initially designed to accommodate 200 patients, but by the late 1950s had expanded to house over 2,300 mentally ill men and women who were subjected to inhumane medical procedures and deplorable living conditions. Patients were often left in solitary confinement for long periods of time or otherwise neglected and abused by caretakers. In January of 1978, the Northampton District Court issued a decree ordering the closure of Northampton State Hospital, which took over 15 years to complete. The asylum was finally shut down in 1993 after treating over 64,000 patients and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in July of 1994. It sat abandoned for many years and over time developed a reputation for being haunted. Urban explorers and those who dared to enter the old buildings during this time would often report encountering the spirits of former mental patients and medical staff, as well as hearing the sounds of disembodied voices, whispers, footsteps, and screams. Others would report witnessing heavy doors being slammed shut by an unseen entity and objects moving by themselves or being thrown violently across the room. In the early 2000s, one of the buildings was sold to a company called L3 Communications, which has offices in the building, and in 2006, the Northampton State Hospital's main building was torn down and replaced with the Villages at Hospital Hill Condominiums. Although most of the other buildings on the old hospital's campus have been demolished, the buildings that now stand at the site of the old asylum are still believed to be haunted, as well as the surrounding area. Number 3. Smith College. Established in 1871, Smith College is a private women's liberal arts college located in Northampton, Massachusetts, with some buildings on campus dating back to the early 1700s. In addition to being renowned as the largest women's college in the United States, it is also rumored to be one of the most haunted. Chase House, which was constructed during the early 1800s as a women's boarding house, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman who committed suicide after killing her newborn child. Students residing at Chase House report encountering the woman's spirit at night, carrying her murdered child and weeping, as well as hearing the sounds of disembodied footsteps and an infant crying. The nearby Clark House is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a female student who was murdered by a jealous lover, and students staying on the 4th floor of Baldwin House often report hearing strange banging noises and footsteps coming from the attic late at night. Students in both locations report witnessing lights turning on and off by themselves and doors being slammed shut by an unseen entity. On November 13th, 1925, a student named Jean Robeson was found dead in Parker House after inhaling fumes from a gas stove that was left running overnight. Her apparition is said to haunt the location of her death, where students also report feeling sudden cold spots and feeling the presence of an unseen entity. Northrop House is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman named Francine, who fell in love with a foreign man while studying abroad in Italy. When Francine returned to Smith College to complete her senior year, she continued to exchange letters with the man. They made plans to elope, but suddenly Francine stopped receiving his letters. She disappeared mysteriously before graduating and was reported missing by family members shortly after. She is believed to have committed suicide, though her body was never found. Now it's believed her heartbroken spirit haunts Northrop Hall, the last location where she was seen alive. Another popular folklore tale passed down by students residing at Sessions House tells the story of a woman named Lucy Hunt, who fell in love with a British soldier during the American Revolutionary War. According to legend, a British soldier known as General John, Gentleman Johnny, Burgoyne, was captured by colonial militia forces led by Lucy's father and held prisoner in the house. Over time, Lucy began to develop feelings for the captured soldier and would sneak away at night to be with him. Eventually, General Burgoyne was sent back to England and was unable to return to his young lover for unknown reasons. In one version of the story, Lucy dies tragically while General Burgoyne continues to fight in the British Army, and in another version, General Burgoyne simply decides to start a new life in England and never returns. Regardless, their spirits are said to reunite at the Sessions House in death, where students report witnessing the two lovesick specters embracing passionately before disappearing mysteriously into the night. Additionally, students at Talbot House report witnessing the spirit of a woman wearing a white gown known as the Lady in White, as well as the spirit of a young boy who was locked in the building's attic and left to die under mysterious circumstances. Lastly, Wilder House is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a student named Gloria who committed suicide. That concludes my list of 3 notorious haunted locations in Northampton, Massachusetts. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more creepy videos and other content. To see my full list of folklore tales and haunted locations in your state, check out my website, ghostquest.net, and be sure to check out the link to my new book, The Folklore and Haunted Locations Guide, Massachusetts, available now on Amazon. To see more of my creepy videos, subscribe to my channel and click the thumbnails shown on the screen.